Hey everyone, it's Healing Crystal and welcome back. Today's reading is super special because it has to do with the solar eclipse in Cancer, and this is just a really important, powerful time for us right now. This is when we'll find a lot of bigger events taking place. This is when we'll find a lot of bigger events taking place in our lives that are a little more life-changing and uprooting, so to speak. Just a quick announcement. I am going on a pilgrimage out west here on the day of the eclipse, so I thought that was really neat. One of the things that we talked about in the last reading was coming into contact with your younger days or your elementary days, and we're road tripping across the country to go to those days for me, so it was really neat that that added up with the message that I received in the reading, since this trip has been planned for several months now. With that being said, I won't be having a healing pick a card message at the end of my moon readings for the next couple of weeks because we are leaving in a little over 24 hours and I have no videos prepared at this time, and I'm just have a lot to do. That's just not a thing that's happening. I'm looking forward to all the videos that I'm creating. I have a couple astrology series that are like half written and I want to write the rest of them and film them. I'm so excited for my astrology series that are coming out. That is what I've mainly been so excited to make a YouTube channel for. So if you want to learn about some astrology and continue seeing the moon pick a card readings, then subscribe to my channel. Without further ado, let's just get into the video. This is probably going to be a long one. The candle card for this moon is the black candle. Stands for stability, perseverance, negativity shield. The mantra is, I can persevere through any storm. So this asks us what transformations are in our lives right now. And if they're tough, which they will be because of the eclipse, we just need to retreat inside of our souls and inside of ourselves, to ourselves, and not look externally for answers and support. Leaning on some friends and family can help, but we need to learn how to do it on our own first. I actually find when we lean on other people for support, they're struggling enough with them themselves and really can't deal with ours, and it can actually cause a lot of strife in relationships. And recently we're all really being forced to deal with our problems on our own. Balancing how we handle our emotions is of utmost importance right now and right in front of our faces. You know, it's like, well, don't ignore your emotions. Reach out for help, but not to these people, not here, not this way, do it like this, go inside yourself. It's very confusing. It can be hard to navigate. That's why it's important that we ground ourselves, look inside ourselves, meditate, and then we'll have answers. And then when our mind is clear like that, and we still need to reach out to a friend, family member, we know that it is for the right reasons, for support and not for a cure-all pep talk to help us ignore some things that we might not want to face. Our chakra that we're working on is the heart chakra, which I thought was so fitting because the moon rules over our heart and our feelings, and it's just the perfect thing that we're working on, especially when it's in its own sign of Cancer. We're just really tuning into our heartstrings. The heart chakra controls self-love as well as love for others. It integrates the other 7 chakras and is the pass-through point for the higher chakras. Improving this chakra allows for emotional healing, trust, openness, and love. I want you to look in the mirror and ask yourself this question. What do you love most about yourself? What are you usually doing when you love yourself the most? When was the last time you allowed yourself to fully lose control? When was the last time you cried? When did you allow yourself to cry, and what made you feel better? This eclipse is really showing us how and why we need to nurture ourselves. We'll have timestamps for the Pyrite and Quartz piles down below, You can click on that if you want, but right now we're going to get right into the Cancer New Moon Solar Eclipse reading. The solar eclipse is July 2nd, and the theme is leaving the comfort zone, managing your main emotions, and finding your true meaning of what safety and familiarity are to you. We're working on removing blockages and cleansing the physical body. A lot of Kundalini awakenings will be happening. We are remembering events from our past to heal from psychosomatic disease. We're here to start a new chapter and change our thought patterns, live in the now, and seek oneness with ourselves. If you want to... A solar eclipse mirrors a new moon, only it is much more powerful. The moon is the only object that can truly darken the sun. The new moon is the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. A new moon can have effects that usually last through the month, but a solar eclipse can have effects that last up to 6 months due to the power that an eclipse has. The effects can actually be felt before an eclipse and begin after the eclipse. You can feel them now. That is normal. The events that occur in your life will also have to have other aspects going along with it. That's why we all can't have a big moment, just the moment of an eclipse. Some could have already happened. Some might happen in 2 weeks. Some could happen in a month. But they will have to do with issues or experiences, lessons involving your home, your past, how you're nurtured. Your mom, who nurtured you. This Cancer moon will help in establishing a closer connection to those we love, including ourselves. How can we nurture the people and things in our life that we love to make everything happier? What is the theme of the next few months of your life? You can look up the house that Cancer is in your natal astrology birth chart. I will put a link down below of how you can look up your chart online. Just go to the Cancer sign and look up the house. Then you can Google what the house stands for until I can get a reference video up for you on that. This will help show you which area of your life is going to be the most affected. If it's your first house, if Cancer is your rising sign, it's going to be yourself. If it's your second house, it could be finances and so on. So you just need to look that up to get a better idea of what also might need nurtured on top of yourself if there's a specific area of your life. Seek balance in that area of your life and creativity while still managing to keep yourself in the state of your own life. How is your home life? You need to reconnect with your roots. When we are born under a certain energy. The energy is a compilation of all the current energies in the sky that the planets and certain constellations create. But we also have environmental factors and nature versus nurture. That is real and legit. You need to look into your roots for what they are in your memory, not what a tarot spread or your astro chart says about you, but what a good hard look at your life says. Your real childhood. Many people grow up blaming their issues on their parents, which can technically be true, but we need to remember that they are humans as well. They have their reasons for their actions just like you are. They can also blame their parents. This cycle goes on for forever. How is that working out for everyone though? Accept that they are to blame, I suppose. Then find a way to transmute the energy and break this cycle. We spend so long trying to escape our childhood, sometimes that we forget how important of a time that is for us in our development on an earth and soul level. People put children through a lot. They say that kids are resilient and it's better for something to happen when they are young so they can bounce back quick. But kids aren't bouncing back quick, they don't know what's going on, and their mind and body is protecting them. And they start developing coping mechanisms, and escapism starts. When kids are young, we support this and call it an imagination. This is often true, but so is a little kid spending their entire lives waiting to get out. It sets a human up for always waiting for the future, and they stay in this constant state of I will be happy when I escape in the future. And the escape stays in the future. Was your childhood like this? You're the judge of your childhood. It's your perspective. Your parents are obviously going to say that they did the best that they could, and your childhood was fine because they tried really hard to make your childhood better than theirs, and they probably did. But that doesn't mean that it was still a good standard. Theirs could have just been really, really, really bad. And although yours was better, that doesn't mean that you don't have wounds that need to be healed from it. These can be really difficult for us to see whenever there's this story of having a great childhood, but it doesn't seem to add up with what you felt that you experienced. So you don't deal with the problems. But how you experienced it, those are the feelings that need to be dealt with. Not the version that everyone said it was like. Those aren't the feelings that you need to deal with. You need to deal with your own. It's also a good idea to look at the pain that your parents and their parents may have experienced and look for patterns and possible connections that you can make with your own present life and make the most of this Cancer solar eclipse energy and just create new patterns within your family or yourself and your life and just the future, and to help the planet. Because when one person starts something, it can create a ripple effect. Alright, so we're going to get into the individual readings with the piles. The first pile is Pyrite, and the second pile is Quartz. I will put the timestamps down below in the comment section, and you can go right to your reading. If you picked this group, you picked Pyrite for your crystal. It stands for protection, energy, and luck. Energy is something I can tap into. It's what you can meditate on with this crystal. You can meditate on the crystal holding it and also just thinking about it in your mind. This asks if any of you feels like part of your life is stuck in an area, and are you pessimistic about it? It's totally normal for us to doubt stuff within ourselves when we haven't accomplished our dreams yet, but you have to make sure that you don't just rely on only those words. You need to feel them, because you can't just put them down because they'll come back up, but you just need to be like, oh, I feel this way in the moment. Why do I feel this way? Because I'm not getting the results that I wanted. Okay, did I start this for results? I probably started this for a different reason. Whenever you feel bad about something, you really just have to make sure that you pull it back and become less negative about it and more positive. Don't tell yourself you can't do something, and if you do happen to tell yourself you can't do something, you need to tell yourself that you can 5 times more, in my opinion, because you manifest from feelings, and whenever a feeling of not being able to do something comes up out of nowhere when you don't want it to, that feeling is very strong. So I want you to say the opposite thing 5 times to you so that we can help try to create that feeling inside of you to pop up more than the one saying that you can't do it. The Polychrome Jasper card is here to let you know or remind you that you are a shaman and you belong to a greater group, whether it's someone you're around now, someone in your past that you need to connect to spiritually, but you are not alone. And I believe you feel alone, and you should not feel alone, but it is so easy for us to feel alone in this time period, or just in general, to be honest, while we're here on Earth. If you feel lonely, you do need to reach out to people, but reach out to people for not support, like on your emotional issues. Reach out for them for like a distraction, because you've got this. Your purpose is to help other people deal with their emotional issues, and with that, you need to get through yours on your own, and that can be exhausting. So it's not like you're supposed to do it all on your own. It's just you're not necessarily supposed to dive into all the emotional aspects of it with other people. You're supposed to hang out with people as like a little break, and then go back to hermit mode at home and work on your emotional stuff, if that's what you need. But I'm also here to remind you that we don't need to keep replaying the same bad movie over and over in our mind. We can look at the trailer for the next one. Can't wait to see it when it comes out, and maybe watch that one a few times. But stop replaying the bad stuff that has happened over and over in your mind. You don't need to reach out to friends and talk about it. Reach out and talk to your friends of strength. If anything, reach out and just ask your friends how they're doing. Oh, sorry, my candle was out. I think big changes are definitely coming for you when you make this change of just being your own rock and having just really truly relying on your inner strength. I feel like you're already really strong on the inside, but you think that you should be, you know, reaching out to other people, and you do that and it goes terribly wrong. I think it puts you in a worse situation. It's like, well, I don't understand it. Like, it hasn't worked out for me, not reaching out for people, so I reach out, and that's also not working out for me. Not quite sure if it's like worse or just a different level of suck, but this isn't working, and you need to find balance and reach out to people and not help me out, be my therapist way. Like, just bite the bullet and go pay someone for that, honestly. Just trust me, it's way easier. It feels like less of a burden talking about stuff too, when you know that, like, it's not a burden. If anything, it's a burden for you to not open up to a counselor or a therapist. So that's always an option. And then go out and have fun with your friends, because honestly, they don't have time to deal with your problems. And when you're a light worker, which you most likely are, your problems are way larger than most other people's. It's hard to not play the victim card when it really truly seems like you're the victim all the time. Most people do play the victim card, so whenever it sounds like your life is makes you a victim, people are just going to assume that you're playing the victim because that's what they do. So they do try to shut that down and get away from it. Now, whether or not someone's always trying to do that, I don't know. But I don't assume everyone's just trying to get attention and write them off. Some people do. I recommend not, but note that some people do. So just maybe in this time, whenever you're feeling lonely, maybe don't have that many connections in your life, like maybe don't push the barriers with the ones that you have, and wait till you are in a little bit more of a stable place with your life. You're definitely well aware of like life, death, and transformation in your life, but you still need to learn how to work through it a little more and cut loose and have some fun and stay grounded. Just because you're aware that like this stuff happens and you're good, like you can get through it, doesn't mean that you're moving on from it and having the best life that you can from the situations. Everything must pass away. Death precedes transformation and rebirth. Become more grounded, and learning experiences occur regularly, and serendipitous synchronicities put you in exactly the right place at the right time. Yeah, definitely take a look at the movie you're playing in your head. You're probably feeling lonely because you want to talk to someone, because releasing the thoughts that we have in our mind, saying them out loud to someone and having them acknowledged once can honestly help. I just think you're looking in the wrong areas. You're looking for people that aren't strong enough to handle what you've got going on. You're someone that feels stuff first to help other people, so when you're going to someone with one of your issues at the time, it's completely new to them. They'll probably experience it in the near future, but at this moment when you're going through it, it's all new and scary, and they're going to experience it, so it resonates with some part of them that they aren't dealing with, and they are going to deal with it now, but that doesn't mean they like hearing about it, and they're going to get defensive. That's why I just recommend that you try to just continue dealing with that stuff on your own, unfortunately, and then just seeking out friendships for fun. And if you just need someone to cry with, like a companion, then get like an animal. Because they really are our best friends. They don't judge us at all. Oftentimes I wonder who domesticated who when it comes to like dogs and stuff, because dogs like have it made. Affirmation. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be free from suffering. May they be happy. May they be peaceful. May they be free from suffering. May all be happy. May all be peaceful. May all be free from suffering. And this is definitely the journey that you're taking. You will make yourself happy and you will be peaceful. Then you will look at other people. And with that, everyone will end up being free. But you do have to focus on yourself first. And that is figuring out balance. So focusing on yourself doesn't mean like, I'm going to tell you what I want anyway because I'm focusing on myself. It's like, well, no, you still need human connection. So care about yourself enough to not ruin all the ones that you have, because it's going to be really difficult to go out and have fun with other people when you've scared them all off. Now, is the stuff that you're telling them stuff they should be running away from? I don't know. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes we have toxic friends that won't move on from situations. Sometimes we really do have friends that are honestly trying to help themselves and can't seem to get their head above water. Those are usually the ones that are left alone in the dust. I choose to learn through love. A lot of times when you experience these things that I've mentioned, when you're feeling lonely and you seek out a connection because you understand the importance of it and are faced with rejection, it can make you angry. It can make you feel bad things. And just remember that we're all here on our own journey. And it's not always easy, especially when you're the person that has to show everyone how they're being, you know. Some people think that they're like super, super nice and they could like have some areas in adjusting. So unfortunately, a really, 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 really nice person's gonna have to come along for them to kind of screw over, for them to realize that like, hey, actually, nope, still have room for improvement. A lot of people have to learn lessons on being humble. You know, we get it, we need to be a good person, we can't treat people badly, but now we kind of face issues of being humble and being able to face like possible humility in life for certain situations. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. I think when you truly just accept it, you kind of just need to rely on your fellow humans for like entertainment, so to speak, and laughs and fun, and trust that you can handle everything that comes your way. And when you need emotional support, to just look inwards, I think you're going to be a lot happier, and you're also going to see a lot more signs and be guided a lot more. Right now you're definitely putting off vibes of like, hey, no, you want support from other people. And the other people that you're around or who you're trying for, they just can't handle it. So it's just not working out for you, and it's not putting you in a good situation right now. So just keep looking inward, meditate, keep watching spiritual videos, learn about spirituality. That stuff really, really, really helps in these situations. All right, Pyrite pile, I hope this healing message resonated with you. I hope this eclipse goes well for you. Sometimes these can be emotional times and hard to get through, but just press on, and the effects shouldn't be too long, and the pendulum swings both ways. So if it's going this way, negative, it'll go this way, really great, before it goes down the middle. Alright, that's it for this reading. Give it a like if it resonated with you, and subscribe for future moon readings. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello, pile 2. This is the quartz pile. So if you are here, you picked quartz in the reading. And I'm going to be honest, as soon as I set this reading up, my world just got turned upside down. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life right now, to be honest. I am confused. I didn't know where to start with this reading. I haven't been getting a good vibe from any of the cards. None of them really make sense to me. And so what this tells me is that this is what you feel like. Your life doesn't make sense to you. You don't know what's going wrong with it. You don't know how to make it better. Just this whole feeling of numbness, like emptiness. Not necessarily empty sorrow, just flatlined. Just you feel like your life is flatlined. Just gloomy, but not depressed, but kind of depressed. You obviously will go through bouts of depression, but then when you get back to normal, it's just blah. It's gray. You need to allow yourself time to heal and stop trying to do so much. Stop trying to move on from issues. Stop trying to search for stuff to heal from. I think you're trying to go through your life and be like, oh, I'll just remember this, and then I'll be like, it's okay, and then I'll be better. And that's not how it's working, because you need to just stop digging around in your past to find out what made you feel this way, and know that you just have the information already, and now you just need to give yourself time to heal. And you really need to focus on living in the day-to-day life. Not get so hung up on healing, not get so hung up on the past and what caused you to feel this way. And you know the story many of us play in our heads. You need to balance your mind, your body, and your soul, and head out and do some fun activities. Do something fun, get out of your house. Like I'm saying, stop moping around, because that's what it is, even though this is just like a natural state of mind, which truly isn't moping around. Like, honestly, sometimes I live that life all the time, and I just call it moping around because I get it, and it's just a flatlined state of mind. It feels mainly, it's like slightly below there, slightly below flatlined, like the negative side of it, where it's no feeling, but actually it's just enough to suck a little bit. And that's a couple weeks of that is one thing, months of it is another, and then years of it is a completely different story. I think you just have a lot of anxiety and insecurities, and you don't feel like you belong here, and you wonder a lot what's wrong, why your life is like this, and your autonomic nervous system may be malfunctioning. And what you need to do is take control. Accept that you're undergoing a vibrational change and you're getting closer to higher realities. The visions of past lives that you're having to deal with are a sign that you are reaching a higher frequency, which is good. We just need to work through those and let them go, but we don't need to ruminate on the past. And we don't need to dig up everything. We don't have to relive it every moment. There are big moments in our past that can represent a lot of different activities that took place. You don't have to go through every single event if they were all the same. Like, let's just say you were getting abused. You don't have to go through every single time you were abused. You just need to accept that, wow, that actually happened and I actually totally forgot about it, maybe thought it was normal and it totally wasn't. We need to accept that that happened and it brought us to where we are right now, which is exactly where we're supposed to be. You're definitely allowing these past hard times to just push you off center and kind of just get you off balance. Stress and pressure are a major cause of your pain and disease. You could be focusing too closely on one aspect of life to the detriment of others, and you need to open your eyes and look at the wider picture. Be mindful instead of watchful. Don't just let your thoughts do whatever they want while you look around. Make sure you're telling yourself the right things. Make sure they're positive. Don't just ignore all the negative thoughts, but don't live off of them. Don't make that your story. Make your story a good one. You have like a great life and like these couple negative things happen to you. Not that you live a negative life and then occasionally something good happens. Don't make that your story. Let those who have done good repeat it over and over. Set your mind on it. For happiness is the accumulation of good. So the moments that we talked about, the good ones that do poke through, repeat those through your mind over and over again. Maybe reach out to those people, not so they can keep just doing good stuff for you, but so that you can experience that and get that feeling and action into your head, not the one where people go ahead and just let you down. I will hold myself to a standard of grace, not perfection. That can also be a reason why you're lost in the direction that you need to go, is because you have such high standards of yourself. We aren't here to be perfect. We're here to just live the best life that we can to the best of our ability. There's no standards except, live out of love, I guess. That's a pretty good standard. Don't be a bad person, but you're not a bad person, so you've already met perfection. When I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. If you feel like you're not supported from the universe, it's probably because the universe might not feel like you have much faith in it. That's why you have to give faith. You have to trust that the universe will support you. And then the support comes in because you're not looking for it. And you just realize you've been supported all of a sudden. And all the signs were clear and there. And then you just express a lot of gratitude for it. And don't question it and keep going. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. A lot of people say that they can't meditate because they don't have time and blah, blah, blah. And you can seriously meditate anytime, all time. You can even check out of a conversation and start meditating. I don't recommend it, but I'm just letting you know that, like, that's how often you can actually take a step back and just be in a moment of stillness in your own head to yourself, breathing. Alright, Quartz Pile, I do realize this is a really short reading, and I'll be honest, the feelings that you have are deep, and they really kind of do need a really long reading, but the feelings that you have are ones that you need to stop seeking advice for. When we're spiritual beings and we're light workers, it becomes natural habit for us to reach out externally for spiritual advice. And I find that when it's just not working out, it's confusing, conflicting advice, that it's just time to stop doing that and to just put action to all the stuff you've been learning. Really feel like you're in a take action phase of your life, and this solar eclipse is really going to help you nurture yourself. And it might be painful, but just remember and have faith that whenever you make the big steps, the universe will help guide you along your way. Alright, so Quartz Pile, I hope this resonated with you. Give it a like if it did. Subscribe to my channel for future moon readings. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.